Hey guys, Al Perhax. Welcome to day one of the 7-day Inception Protocol. And today is all about mindset domination, hypnotic influence. And I've got a lot of great information for you today. So just so you understand, this is the first day, but and every day is integral to the process. But one of the things, the reason I wanted to cover mindset first is mindset is so important. Because without the proper mindset, then everything else just doesn't work. You can have great energy, but if your mindset's weak, you're just not going to be able to get the results. And so I've put together some training in this day. There's going to be a couple different things. It might take you a little while to get through it. But we're building one day upon another. Here's the other thing. I'm going to be providing bonus content for you. But the only way you can get the bonus content is you must complete all of the assignments that are in each day. And they're not difficult. I'm not making it super difficult so that you can't do it, because the thing is that this is all about you. This isn't about me. This is about you getting results in your life. Now, obviously, there's an angle from my perspective in that I know that a certain percentage of you are going to say, hey, listen, I love the tip of the iceberg. I love the inception, but I want to coach with you. I want to take some of the other courses. And in reality, that's what you're going to need to do. And you don't even have to do my courses. It doesn't matter to me if you buy any of my courses and training or not, but you're going to have to get the training from somewhere. Because what we're going to cover in these 7 days is the inception. It's the start. It's the beginning. It's the takeoff. We're not getting there yet. And so there's going to be this gap of how long you're going, how good you're going to get, how fast, right? And so if I can make a couple recommendations, and if you don't like the fact that I'm making recommendations, it's too bad, right? But the first thing is Mind Force Library. I still have it available. And while you can still get it, you can get all of the books dirt cheap. You can pick up most of the books on Amazon and if you buy them all at the same time, you'll pay about $150 plus shipping, or maybe if it's Prime, you don't have to, but you won't get any of the bonuses, you won't get any of the training or anything like that, but you can get them on Amazon. People buy them from Amazon every day. You can find links through the 7-day Inception to get access to some of the courses that I have, so that you can take advantage of it, all right? And it's not there. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I don't care if you buy or not. It's not the purpose. But if I don't make it available to you, then I'm not doing my job as a coach, as a teacher, as a mentor, because I want to be able to get you into that next level of understanding of training. And that next level is Mind Force Library is the cheapest way to do it. Least expensive. I hate to use the word cheapest because it cheapens the Mind Force Library, and we don't want to do that. But it is the least expensive. But here's the challenge with Mind Force Library. It's got so much good stuff. Most people don't ever read through it. And that's probably true with this course too. And I don't want to spend a lot of time going into this kind of thing. But hopefully you're here for a reason. And that reason is that you want to take action. That you see the 7 days as powerful to take you from where you're at to where you want to be. Bottom line. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. I'm going to tell you exactly what you are going to need to hear. And if you don't like it, you can leave. I don't have a problem with that. That's how I coach every day, all day, every day. Is if you want my help, you act on my advice. If you don't act on my advice, then you get whatever. And sometimes maybe if you don't act on my advice, you're going to get a great result. Well, that's yet to be seen in some cases, right? But that's the way it is. Anyway, Mind Force Library. My newest book is out, Immersion, and many of you have probably gotten a copy of it. What do you think of it? Did you like it? Did you get some insights on it? Everything that you read, everything that you go through should contain insights. You should be able to go through any book and get an insight from it. In fact, I happen to have a hard copy of the book right here. I'm just finishing up Immersion for Real Estate Professionals, which I'm very excited about. So as we get started here, I want you to understand that there's more to this than meets the eye. Absolutely, unequivocally. And so as you follow through in this program, an understanding is going to take place for you that you can be a lot more than you ever thought you could be. And maybe some of you already think you're wonderful and you're going to take it to the next level, and that's awesome. But let's go ahead and let's jump right into it, because I don't want to waste any of your time. I don't want to waste any of my time. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So, mindset domination, hypnotic influence. We're going to go into some of the brushstrokes of how you can change your mind. And I made the comment in some of the information I sent out that I can change your mindset in less than an hour. And I can, and I'm going to. Now, here's the thing, is that in less than an hour, I'm going to change your mindset. However, you're going to have to take the responsibility and the accountability to take it to that next level. Because just because I change your mindset over this next, hour, if you don't do what is prescribed to keep it that way, you'll go back to where you were. We don't want that. We don't want that for you. Absolutely not. I want you to be a winner. I want you to be an action taker. My promise to you is you'll learn a method that is designed to provide the laser focus to create new good habits and remove old bad habits. That's what the mindset domination is. And that's why people that are high performance are high performance, and those that are low performance are low performance. And one of the things I want you to really get from this is honesty. I want the pure, naked honesty for you. I want you to look in the mirror, and I want you to pull over the pure honesty for yourself on how you look, how you feel, how you act, your money situation. I want you to become clear about it. It doesn't do you any good if you sugarcoat where you're at, because the only way you can get from where you're at to where you want to go is by being honest. It's called brutal honesty. It's getting naked. I get naked right now, and I'm probably 15, 20 pounds overweight. Just happened, just like it has to many of you. And I can get naked right now and go, I don't like what I see. Or I could cover it up and say, oh, I'm not that bad, because I'm wearing sweatpants and I'm sweatshirts. But then I put on my suit and I go, oh boy, I can't even fit my suit. See, that's why you have to have that naked honesty. We're going to talk about how do we get this mindset domination. Is we're going to work with the three minds. A lot of the material that I'm going to cover is material that's in some of my other classes, courses, trainings, master classes, and some of it isn't. You're going to get a video in this first day that I have not shared with anyone in over, I think, 6 years. And it's something I did only for a very small, limited number of people that paid me $2,000 each. And you're going to get one of the videos from that structured curriculum, and it's going to blow you away. You're going to love it. If you actually do what it says to do. If you don't do anything, if you're just watching, or if you're watching TV, or if you're on your phone right now, I can't control you. I'm not here to try to control you. I'm here to give you information. You're going to take the information, use it, or you're going to lose it. It's up to you. We got three minds: conscious, subconscious, and the superconscious. We're going to be taking conscious efforts and delivering them into the subconscious mind so that they can then be delivered to the superconscious. The superconscious picks up both subconscious and conscious, and it acts as a mechanism to get you and direct you to the things that you desire. You've often heard me say that when I talk to my subconscious mind, it's like I'm talking to another person, right? I want you to go out and do this. And my superconscious is kind of that overarching mind that is going to make it happen in mysterious ways. Doesn't always have to be exactly the way I think it's going to happen. That's the power of the superconscious mind. And so we're going to set your game plan. All right. Everyone does something for a specific reason or intent. Once you find out what your or their reasons are, intents are, you can figure out a way to present the solution to either yourself or their challenge. What's your challenge? Your challenge is you looking at me, 15, 20 pounds, right? What's my reason or intent? If I really want to lose it, I'll lose it. But if I don't have a reason or intent, then it doesn't mean anything. I'm going to stay the same, or I'm going to get fatter, right? That's just the way it is. And I'm not afraid to say that. But I want you to get ready to transform. We're going to build a confidence. Create disciplined habits and rituals. There's a book called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. It's a great read. It's a book that is going to allow you to understand from a scientific way how habits work, why habits work. And when you read something like that, it's not always going to be like pleasure reading, but it's going to work with your mind. And we're going to cover this in just a little bit. I'm going to give you a list of books. And this is going to be one of the biggest action tasks that I give you. Now, obviously, part of your assignments aren't going to be just to, read any old books. I'm going to give you some specific guidelines. 21 days to more power. So whatever your date you're watching this right now, mark in your calendar 21 days, and we're going to form a habit. Right now, we're going to form a habit. And so in 21 days, you're going to start to create a habit, right? It's the habit creation process. Okay? 21 days to break a bad habit, right? 30 days to maintain the habit. And then also what you have to realize is that in order to make the habit continuous, about 67 days. And then continual affirmation of the habit. So just because you lose the 20 pounds, I lose my 20 pounds, and I get in the habit of working out, eating right, and doing all the right things, I can stop that by creating a bad habit of going back to what I used to do. Eating, not working out, so on and so forth, right? And the same thing is true with anything that you do. Now, some of you are listening to this and you're saying to yourself, I've heard stuff like this before. Yeah, but did you actually take action on it? Because we're going into the recesses of your subconscious and your superconscious mind, and we're kicking it in the butt and saying, listen, now's the time. It doesn't matter if you've ever heard this before. Now is the time to take action. Now's the time to take action. There's no more, I'll think about it. I'll think about it was last year. It's not this year. The 4 questions, you've probably heard me say this. I ask these questions in just about every training that I do. I ask these questions of every coaching client that I ever coach. And it doesn't matter if they're paying me $100 or $25,000. I ask them these 4 questions. What do you want? When do you want it? What are you willing to give up or delay to get it? And how will you know when you get it? Powerful 4 questions. It's all it is, 4 questions. This is part of your assignment. And I want you to write it down and send it to me. What do you want? Now, if your thing is so private that you can't send it to me, then just send it and blank it out, right? Redact it if it's that private, right? You can still put the date on it. What are you willing to give up or delay to get it? This is the big one. Many people can say, oh, I want this and I want to have it by, but they don't want to give up anything to get it. Like, for instance, I do mindset clarity calls every week. And one of the questions on the application is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it for you to change and transform? And I'm amazed, I get a lot of 8s, 9s, and 10s, obviously, but I'm amazed at somebody that puts a 3 or 4 or 5. I'm like, why would you want to have a phone call with me if your desire is that low? Your mind reacts to this kind of stuff when you tell it you want something, but then you put a value of a 3 on it out of 10. I mean, come on. This is where you got to get real with yourself, folks. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm not here to be your buddy. I'm not here to make you feel good, although I will. I'm here to enlighten you in the fact that you have to take action. And what are you willing to give up to get what you want? How bad do you want it? It's a burning desire. And how will you know when you get it? Obviously, if you say, hey, I want to lose 20 pounds and you lose 20 pounds, that's how you know. But it's more than that. What will you feel like when you get it? Probably should say, how are you going to feel when you get it? Are you going to feel like, oh my God, I really achieved something great? Or is it going to be like, oh, big deal. Okay, I got another Rolls Royce, put it in the garage. All right. if you have a Rolls Royce already. I don't personally, but so the keys to your kingdom: we achieve what we visualize and focus on, backed by action, which is the flight time. So again, visualization. What is it that you want? And then we're going to focus on it. And over the 7 days, day number 3 is going to be focus, because we're going to talk about how meditation is going to be a focus and relaxation point and how you're going to do that. And then it's backed by action. So you're going to visualize what you want, and then you're going to make a decision that you're going to make it happen. Plain and simple. That's what needs to be done. Anyway, for those of you that don't know who I am, my name's A. Thomas Perhax. I go by Al. I was a competitive bodybuilder when I was a teenager, so I know something about losing weight. I didn't get in that kind of shape by eating ice cream. I dieted crazy to get in that kind of shape. 20 years of training in multiple martial arts, esoteric sciences, taught thousands of people all over the world, martial arts black belts, and 28 years I've been teaching people these things. I've written over 14 books, probably 20 courses, master classes, you name it. I've been there, done it, coached and trained salespeople, executives, entrepreneurs. So I've got a very eclectic style in that I've got all these esoteric trainings along with mainstream business, entrepreneurial sciences, and so forth, which is kind of unique, quite frankly. But that's not how I know that I can get you from point A to point B. Now, just to let you know in these videos, we're going to be looking at it from a couple different perspectives. We're going to be looking at it from something that you can immediately do, and then there's going to be techniques and concepts that you're going to have to practice. I call it specialized knowledge. But this is the pathway. And if you don't believe me, please try it for 30 days. Please try it for 30 days and tell me if it doesn't make a difference in your life. And this is the mindset change that I talked about, because this is what's going to change your mindset immediately if you'll take action. And that is reading and studying. That's number 1. Is Charlie Jones, Charlie Tremendous Jones. You can look this up if you want. He was a friend of mine. Passed away several years ago, but he was one of the greatest sales trainers out there. And he was a big believer in books. And his quote is, "You will be the same person in 5 years as you are today, except for the people you meet and the books you read." Leaders are readers. If you're going to be a leader, you need to be a reader. If you think that you're going to get good at any of the concepts that I teach in Mind Force without reading, assimilating, taking it into your conscious and subconscious minds, you're under an illusion, my friend. You really are. You've got to be on top of your game. And that's reading. And I'm going to give you a whole list of books to read. Obviously, I just talked about the Mind Force Library, but I'm not just talking about those books. I'm talking about continual reading. I'm continually reading. I just bought another book today that I'm going to read. I'm going through it already. There's another one that I was reading before I got that book. I probably have too much information in my mind, but that's okay. I'm going to force feed my mind, my subconscious, and my conscious the things that I need in order to get to where I want to go. You need to do the same thing. Now, I know you say this is a simplistic concept, right? And when I say read, I mean something really good, like this. You read from this book 5 minutes a day, you're going to get great insights. You read from a book like Think and Grow Rich. You read from a book like Magic of Thinking Big. You read from a book like, the book that I had just mentioned a little while ago about the habits. And I'm going to give you a whole list of books that you can read immediately. Psycho-Cybernetics is another one. And again, if you're in a specific endeavor, read books by people that are in that endeavor. Attorneys, doctors, whatever. Reading and studying is one of the biggest things. Now, like I said, some of you are hearing this right now and going, come on, man, I said this is mindset domination. Leaders are readers. Do you know that every single person that I know that is a leader is always reading? They always got a book in their hand. These are guys that are making $100,000, $200,000, $1 million a year. When I went and met Charlie Jones for the first time, he brought me into his library, and he had this bookstore. And he said, he gave me like 15 books, stacked like that of books. And he said, Al, I want you to read these books. And I said, how much do I owe you for these, Charlie? Just take them. Pay me whenever you can. I want you to read these. He understood the concept. And back in the day, back in the late 90s, he was even selling books to Amazon because he had a very, very big positive mental attitude and business bookstore. Audio and video training. Daily rituals to learn the specialized skills to get you to your next best level. So reading is fundamental. Reading, and then audio and video training. Here's my phone. I'm listening to, I'll give you an idea what I'm listening to. I have some novels on here that I listen to, but I also listen to a lot of business books. I've got a book called Systemology, another one called Ready, Fire, Aim. I've got another one called Exploring the World of Lucid Dreaming. Now, I'm teaching lucid dreaming, but I'm always learning different nuances. The Four Agreements. Have you ever read that book? Phenomenal. Remote Viewing by David Morehouse. The Ultimate Coach. The Illuminati by Jim Mars. And I acknowledge, how about this? Unacknowledged by Stephen M. Greer. You want an amazing book to listen to or read? Unacknowledged by Stephen Greer. Goes into the whole concept of UFOs and everything and how the government's hiding. Phenomenal stuff. Again, and then I've got all these YouTube channels. And I'm going to give you some that I like that I'm going to suggest that you listen to. If you've been through my training before, you know some of the ones I'm going to recommend. But this is a learning device. Not just a phone to chat with my friends. This is a learning device. In fact, I was just telling my dad today, just hook it up to your Audible and listen to stuff all day long. My wife is mad at me all the time because I got my earphones in because I'm excited to learn. Excited to learn because I'm getting better and better. You need to get better and better. That's how you're going to do it. Obviously, you could start with my courses, download it right onto your phone. Manipulation, the ultimate hypnotic influence, control factor, all this good stuff. And I'll talk a little bit about that a little bit more. But audios and video training. No one needs a coach. They want a coach to get them to the next level of high performance and achievement, right? No one needs a coach. I mean, football players. Does a football player really need a coach? They're really good. They really do need a coach if they want to get to that next level. It's just how it is. And so I always tell people it comes down to reading, listening and watching and viewing and going through training, and then association with a coach, a mentor, trainers, other people that are on the same pathway as you. Man, these three things are pivot points for you. You have to realize that these are the things that are going to get you to the promised land. I promise you that. Surround yourself with those as the same mission as you. You've probably seen this before. I have it in almost every one of my trainings because to me, it means a lot when I see this, is that you surround yourself with those on the same mission as you. If you want to be successful in any area of life, you need to surround yourself with like-minded people. If you don't, you won't get there. Or if you do, there's going to be something that's going to jump in. See, there's two things. I probably should have wrote these as a slide. But there's fear of success and there's fear of failure. People have almost more of a fear of success than they do of failure because instinctually they feel that if they're successful, they're going to break away from their current pack, their friends. Because if they're in a certain category of friends and they level jump over their friends, it's fear of success. They'd have to get new friends. I always talk about my one friend that's super wealthy. I mean, super wealthy. I'm talking, Friday night meals, $1,000. It's hard to hang with this guy. Because I don't like spending $1,000. I mean, I will spend $1,000 on a meal, take my kids out and everything like that. But for 4 people, $1,000 to him, that's nothing. That's a Friday night, and it stretches me to go with somebody like that. And then there's fear of failure. A lot of people are afraid they're going to fail, and that people are going to look at him and say, "Ah ha ha ha, you failed." Who cares? You know, if you don't like it, tough. It's the way you got to look at it. So we've got a simple 9-step process, and by the way, you're going to get all these slides. So just in case you think you got to remember all this stuff, you don't. But this is the 9-step process, and as you can see, it starts with Inception, which is where we're at right now, and that's where you're assessing your skills. You're going to create tactics for breakthrough. You're going to create feedback loops, right? Or I'm sorry, you're going to start with assessing the skills, and you're really going to get set up in how you're going to get from point A to point B. It's just the way it goes. You have to understand exactly what you're going to need to do in order to become the person that you want to become. It's that simple. It's that simple and it's that hard. So what I want you to do is I want you to and again, you're going to have this chart, so you'll see it. I want you to master the mundane. And this is going to be another one of your assignments. And that is your job, your business, relationships, physical fitness, diet, meditation, specific specialized knowledge, mindset, spiritual, social causes, political. There's other ones too. Okay. Sports, you name it, they're on here. Okay. And there's subsets of probably a lot of this. But I want you to pick 3 things and I want you to deep dive into them and I want you to start mastering it. Maybe it's putting more time in your job, a side business, side hustle, relationships, physical fitness, right? So pick one item from the list and work on it for a week. Can you do it for 7 days straight? Can you focus intently on one thing for 7 days straight? And then reward yourself after 7 days. Could you diet like a maniac for 7 days? Could you become spiritually inclined for 7 days straight? Could you do something nice for your wife every day for 7 days straight, or your husband, or your kids, or your mother, or your father, or your brother, or your sister, or your friends, right? And then add another one from the list the second week. And then the third week, you add another one. Can you do 3 things every day for 7 days straight? Can you do 5? Right? How many can you do? I call it 5 to thrive. This is how you're going to start building mindset domination, by incrementally increasing your ability to get things done, complete tasks, and stop avoiding. You have to stop avoiding the things that are going to get you to where you want to go. It's as simple as that. You can't avoid. Because anytime you avoid something, it causes a mental breakdown inside of your mind because it's on your list and you go, I know I got to do it. But you don't do it. You avoid it. I have some of those things on my list, so I'm not perfect. Trust me. Now, I do know some people that are perfect. They're amazing. One of them is one of my coaches. And this guy is like a machine. But I got to tell you, being that, mechanized is not me. But what that does by seeing somebody like that is know the possibilities that it's there, which is really cool. Really cool. So, if you can do 3, why not 5, right? So what skills do you want to master? This is going to be another one of your assignments. What do you want to master? What do you want, right? I guess it comes down to that same thing, right? Is you want to become preeminent. Preeminency is distinction, excellence, and supremacy of skills. You want to be good at hypnotic influence. We're going to be talking about that next. Then you want to become preeminent. I became preeminent in that. I started studying NLP, hypnosis. So how I got into that, by the way, if you want to hear the short story, I'm going to go into a little bit about hypnosis in detail, where it came from and all that, so you can understand, that all of these things integrate together perfectly. But I was doing chi, I was doing meditation, and I knew meditations were like really trance-inducing, and people used to tell me it all the time, and I knew the power of my voice, knew that. And I even had some hypnosis books, and I was looking through them. And then I went to a sales seminar, and these guys were talking about NLP. The only thing I had only ever heard about NLP was from Tony Robbins. And so I started looking it up, and I started researching NLP, and I noticed that a lot of guys that were doing NLP were also doing hypnosis. And then I looked into Ericksonian hypnosis and other styles of hypnosis, and just started becoming a maniac with learning it. Again, how do you become preeminent? You take action on those skills. Skills that will separate yourself from others, and I separate myself from the others. Within probably less than a year, I had amazing skills. Why? Because I was working it every day. I was practicing my hypnotic influence skills every day, my influence, my persuasion, the way I use the tone of my voice every day. I wasn't fudging it. I wasn't looking to slip by. I was looking to get really, really good. You see, if you want to be preeminent, skills that will separate you from all others, you can do it. I don't know what you're going to do it in, but you can do it. And again, this is the mindset domination. You're taking your mind and you're saying to yourself, I'm going to do and be this, right? I'm going to do this and be this. I'm going to be this and I'm going to do this. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to change some habits. I'm going to have to change some of the things that I do. I'm going to have to become a different person. And if you finish your assignments, I'm going to give you access to the first couple modules of my manipulation course. You're going to love it. I mean, it's going to deep dive your mind in a way that you just got to listen to it. You'll love it. And I'm also going to give you the first module of Ultimate Hypnotic Influence, UHI. Those two courses, even though I probably completed them over 20 years ago, all that information is still relevant today, and it's just as good today as it was then. It's probably even better. Because when I listened to that, even today, that's when I was really, really, really into it. I was firing on all cylinders. That was probably the best me. Because since that time, I've matured a little bit. But that was when I was really good. Okay? Now, we're going to end the video right now. But I want to ask you one more thing. This is a bonus. And this is a mindset domination observation that I've had over the years. And I think you're going to find it to be very, very true. Is that, are you always sorry? And I want you to, again, this is another one of your assignments, is I want you to, if you want to write it down, that's great. If you want to catalog it in your mind, that's fine too. Is as you go out in your life in the next week, I want you to remember all the times that somebody says they're sorry to you. Because here's what you're going to find. You're going to go to the store, and I want you to get out there. Don't stay in your house, because nobody's going to say they're sorry, I don't think, unless your wife or husband does. But I want you to go out and about, and I want you to see how many times people say they're sorry to you. It's a reflex response that people use. I don't know where it came from. I used to say it, I don't anymore, but they say, I'm sorry, and I don't mean they bump into you. If I bump into somebody, I do say I'm sorry, but it's like they like get in your way and they say, oh, I'm sorry. That's not appropriate. But I want you to recognize it, and I want you to train your mind to never say that again if you say it right now. And if you do say that, I want you to catch yourself. Oops, sorry. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Sorry I did that. No. You got to remove this from your vocabulary immediately. Because I'm going to tell you what it's doing. Is it's clogging your mind up with this concept that you're sorry. Look up the word sorry. It's not a good word. It's not something that you want to use unless you have to use it. I mean, if you're truly sorry, if you did something to somebody and you wronged them, then yeah, I'm sorry I did that. I made a mistake. But if you almost bumped into somebody's cart, or they got in your space a little bit in the supermarket, there's no reason to be sorry. You just have to say, excuse me. Excuse me. In fact, when somebody says, oh, I'm sorry, I say, you don't have to be sorry. Just say, excuse me. It's okay. No big deal. I almost feel like grabbing them and saying, you don't say that again. You're not sorry. Just excuse me is perfect. And see, this is the power of your words and your thoughts. Because whether you do it or not, a lot of times I'll say to somebody, do you ever say that? And they'll go, oh, no, I never say that. But guess what? They do. Because I've been with them when they do. Because they don't even realize they're doing it. But I want you to consciously recognize when you're doing it and catch yourself and replace sorry with excuse me. Pardon me. Now, when you do that, it's going to instill, this is the mindset shift. This is another mindset shift where you're going to start to realize that you're a valuable asset in this world, that you have power. And the power of your words is the starting point. It's the inception. When you start speaking more powerfully, you get more powerful results. So when I go to the store and somebody almost bumps into me and they say, I'm sorry, I say, hey, no reason to be sorry. Just say, excuse me. Or if I do it, I say, excuse me. I'm still empowered. If I say, I'm sorry, it's going into my subconscious mind and saying, you're sorry. You're a sorry individual. Do you realize that's why the self-image of people is so bad? One of the reasons, not the only reason, but it's one of the reasons, because they're telling themselves over and over and over again, I'm sorry. Or I'm sick. Another bad one. I never say that. I say I'm not feeling that well. Got a little bit of a cold. Got some allergies. I'm not sick. Sick is bad. You don't want to be sick. Look it up. I mean, look these words up in the dictionary. They have diabolical meanings that you don't want to be passing on to your subconscious mind. It's okay to not feel well, but you don't want to be sick. Okay? Because your mind is linked up. And again, this 7 days, we're going to take the whole gamut. We're going to run it from today is the mindset domination. We're going to go into the energy. We're going to go into the relaxation and the focus. We're going to go into the perception and awareness. We're going to go into the attraction, the prosperity consciousness, which ties a lot into the mindset as well. And then we're going to go into the healing, which also ties into that mindset. So again, stop saying you're sorry. And if you don't do it, fantastic. Thumbs up for you. If you want to set up a free 30-minute clarity call with me, mindforcemethod.com/apply. Now, sometimes this link changes, but if for some reason you can't get through on that link, you can always find another link that I'm on. Anyway, I've enjoyed sharing this information with you. The next video is going to be jam-packed with great information on hypnotic influence. You are absolutely going to love it. I've enjoyed sharing this with you. I want to let you know that this information is to be highly guarded with your mind, because I want you to be the best you that you can be at all times. And this is the inception. This is the 7-day inception. This is your inception to greatness. No matter how great you are right now, you can always be greater. And that's exactly what I expect from you in the 7-day inception. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day. So long.